Which of the following is an example of a discriminative stimulus, SD, in ABA? A. A teacher says, line up and students stand in line. B. A student claps hands when bored. C. A child eats lunch when hungry. D. A therapist praises a child after a correct response. Answer, A. An SD signals the availability of reinforcement for a specific response, such as the teacher's instruction leading to lining up. What is the primary purpose of data collection in ABA? A. To document billing hours. B. To prove therapy is working without analysis. C. To make decisions based on objective evidence. D. To reduce the need for supervision. Answer, C. Data collection provides objective evidence to guide decisions, monitor progress, and ensure interventions are effective. Which measurement method records the presence or absence of a behavior during a specific interval? A. Frequency. B. Duration. C. Partial interval recording. D. Rate. Answer, C. Partial interval recording notes if the behavior occurred at any time during the interval, without counting the exact number of occurrences. A client earns a sticker after every 2 correct responses. What schedule of reinforcement is this? A. Fixed ratio 2, FR2. B. Variable ratio 2, VR2. C. Fixed interval 2, FI2. D. Variable interval 2, 6-2. Answer, A. In FR2, reinforcement is delivered after a set number, 2, of correct responses. Which is an example of negative reinforcement? A. Giving candy for completing homework. B. Removing a loud noise when a task is done. C. Adding extra work for not following instructions. D. Praising a student for good behavior. Answer, B. Negative reinforcement removes an aversive stimulus to increase a behavior, such as turning off a loud noise when work is completed. Which of the following best describes extinction in ABA? A. Removing reinforcement for a behavior. B. Punishing a behavior to stop it. C. Ignoring the client completely. D. Giving reinforcement for other behaviors. Answer, A. Extinction involves discontinuing reinforcement for a previously reinforced behavior, leading to its decrease. What is the primary focus of task analysis? A. Breaking a skill into small, teachable steps. B. Timing how long a skill takes. C. Measuring inappropriate behavior. D. Observing without intervention. Answer, A. Task analysis breaks complex skills into smaller steps for systematic teaching. Which is an example of a conditioned reinforcer? A. Food. B. Water. C. Praise. D. Warmth. Answer, C. Conditioned reinforcers, like praise, gain value through association with primary reinforcers. What should you do if a client engages in aggressive behavior during a session? A. Leave immediately without saying anything. B. Ensure safety, follow the behavior plan, and collect data. C. Argue with the client to stop. D. Continue the session as if nothing happened. Answer, B. Safety is priority, followed by implementing strategies from the behavior plan and documenting the event. Which type of prompt is the least intrusive? A. Physical. B. Verbal. C. Gesture. D. Independent. Answer, D. Independent responding involves no prompts, making it the least intrusive form of assistance. What does pairing refer to in ABA? A. Matching a client with another therapist. B. Building rapport by associating yourself with reinforcement. C. Teaching 2 skills at the same time. D. Pairing a punishment with a reinforcer. Answer, B. Pairing involves becoming associated with reinforcement to strengthen the therapist-client relationship. Which of the following is an example of overcorrection? A. Having a student write an apology note for yelling. B. Making a student clean the entire cafeteria for spilling milk. C. Asking a student to repeat a word correctly. D. Ignoring a tantrum. Answer, B. Overcorrection requires the individual to engage in exaggerated practice of appropriate behavior or correct environmental effects. What is a key feature of natural environment teaching, NET? A. Conducting instruction only at a desk. B. Using the client's interests during learning opportunities. C. Delivering all reinforcement at the end of the day. D. Avoiding play-based learning. Answer, B. NET uses natural settings and the client's preferences to promote generalization of skills. Which is an example of a continuous measurement procedure? A. Momentary time sampling. B. Duration. C. Whole interval recording. D. Partial interval recording. Answer, B. Duration records the total time a behavior occurs, making it a continuous measurement. Which of the following is an example of stimulus generalization? A. Saying dog when seeing different breeds. B. Saying dog only when seeing a specific poodle. C. Responding to dog but not puppy. D. Refusing to label any animal. Answer, A. Stimulus generalization occurs when the same response happens to multiple similar stimuli. In which situation would a variable interval schedule be most useful? A. Teaching a new skill quickly. B. Maintaining a behavior over time. C. Stopping a behavior immediately. D. Punishing unwanted behaviors. Answer, B. Variable interval schedules maintain behaviors by providing reinforcement after varying periods of time. Which is the correct sequence for a discrete trial? A. Response prompt consequence. B. Antecedent response consequence. C. Prompt antecedent consequence. D. Consequence response antecedent. Answer, B. Discrete trials follow the sequence, antecedent, response, and consequence. Which of these is an example of shaping? A. Rewarding successive steps toward tying shoes. B. Giving reinforcement only for perfect shoe tying. C. Repeating a task until it's correct. D. Using only verbal prompts for a task. Answer, A. Shaping reinforces closer approximations toward the final behavior. Which type of graph is most commonly used in ABA data representation? A. Bar graph. B. Line graph. C. Pie chart. D. Histogram. Answer, B. Line graphs allow visualization of behavior changes over time. What is the main purpose of Inter-Observer Agreement, IOA? A. To compare therapist opinions. B. To confirm data accuracy and reliability. C. To find out who collected more data. D. To replace direct observation. Answer, B. IOA checks consistency between different observers to ensure reliable data. Which is an example of response generalization? A. Saying hi, hello, or waving when greeted. B. Saying hi only to one specific person. C. Waving only when told. D. Ignoring greetings altogether. Answer, A. Response generalization is when different responses serve the same function. Which is the best way to fade prompts? A. Increase the intensity of prompts. B. Gradually reduce prompt levels until independence. C. Use prompts only for new tasks. D. Never fade prompts to ensure success. Answer, B. Prompt fading supports independence by systematically reducing assistance. Which of these is not a function of behavior? A. Attention. B. Escape. C. Sensory stimulation. D. Socialization. Answer, D. The four main functions are attention, escape, access to tangibles, and sensory stimulation. Which method is best for recording high-frequency behaviors? A. Duration. B. Frequency count. C. Whole interval recording. D. Latency. Answer, B. Frequency counting works best for behaviors occurring often and with clear start/end points. What does the R in ABC data stand for? A. Reinforcer. B. Reaction. C. Response. D. Reprimand. Answer, C. In ABC data, R stands for response, the observed behavior after the antecedent. Which is the best example of functional communication training, FCT? A. Ignoring all problem behavior. B. Teaching a child to request a break instead of throwing objects. C. Punishing every instance of yelling. D. Giving rewards only at the end of the week. Answer, B. FCT teaches appropriate communication to replace problem behaviors. Which is a primary goal of reinforcement thinning? A. Increasing reliance on prompts. B. Making reinforcement less frequent while maintaining behavior. C. Eliminating reinforcement entirely. D. Changing reinforcement to punishment. Answer, B. Thinning reduces reinforcement frequency while ensuring the target behavior continues. Which type of prompt involves guiding a client's hand through a task? A. Gesture. B. Verbal. C. Physical. D. Visual. Answer, C. Physical prompting involves direct physical assistance to complete the behavior. Which is an example of a permanent product measurement? A. Counting completed homework assignments. B. Timing a tantrum. C. Recording each occurrence of hand-raising. D. Tracking on-task behavior every minute. Answer, A. Permanent product measures the outcome of behavior, not the behavior itself. Which ethical guideline is most important for RBTs? A. Prioritize personal preferences over the client's. B. Maintain client dignity and confidentiality. C. Avoid data collection when busy. D. Use punishment as the first strategy. Answer, B. RBTs must always respect client rights, confidentiality, and dignity in practice.